Picture yourself on a Boeing 747, waiting for hours on the tarmac of a small, unfamiliar airport. The cabin is tense, the air thick with impatience. Outside, a dense fog erases the world beyond your window. Suddenly the engines roar to life and the plane begins to move. Relief washes over you. Finally, you're taking off. But then, out of the fog, a massive shape emerges. Another 747, directly ahead, on the same runway. For a split second, disbelief freezes you. Two planes, head-to-head, in the mist. Terror replaces confusion as the impossible becomes real. This was Tenerife, March 27, 1977. Two of the world's largest jets, Pan Am Flight 1736 and KLM Flight 4805, were about to collide. On board, passengers were mostly American and Dutch tourists, all weary from delays and eager to reach their destination. The day had been long, the atmosphere tense. Pilots and crews were under pressure, their legal duty hours running out. The urge to get moving was overwhelming, but outside, the fog thickened, visibility vanished, and a perfect storm of human factors and bad weather brewed. No one knew that a series of small, seemingly insignificant events was about to create aviation's deadliest disaster. The world outside disappeared, but inside, urgency and frustration grew. The runway became a stage for catastrophe. In moments, hundreds of lives would be changed forever. The fog hid everything except fate. This is the story of how it happened, and why it must never happen again. How did two jumbo jets end up on a collision course at a tiny airport? Earlier that day, a bomb exploded at Gran Canaria Airport, forcing all flights to divert to Los Rodeos in Tenerife. Los Rodeos was never meant for this traffic. Just one runway, one taxiway, now jammed with parked planes. With the main taxiway blocked, planes had to taxi on the active runway itself. As the afternoon wore on, thick fog rolled in, dropping visibility to near zero. The airport's centerline lights and ground radar were out of service. Everything depended on what people could see and hear over the radio. The KLM crew, led by their top captain, was running out of legal duty time. The Pan Am crew was exhausted, their passengers anxious. In the tower, just two controllers struggled to manage chaos they'd never trained for. Multiple aircraft, zero visibility, and only voices to keep disaster at bay. The stage was set for tragedy. In the fog, radio was the only lifeline between pilots and tower, but it was fragile. Accents, ambiguous phrasing, and simultaneous transmissions made communication risky. At the runway's end, KLM's captain requested clearance. The controller gave route clearance, not takeoff clearance. The KLM co-pilot replied, "We are now at takeoff," an ambiguous phrase. Captain Van Zanten, confident, announced, "We're going," and pushed the throttles forward. The controller, alarmed, replied, "Okay, stand by for takeoff. I will call you." But at that exact moment, Pan Am's co-pilot was also transmitting, "We are still taxiing down the runway." The two transmissions overlapped, creating a high-pitched squeal. In the KLM cockpit, the crucial instruction to wait was lost. The Pan Am crew's warning was also blocked. Unaware, the KLM jet accelerated into the fog. Disaster was seconds away. On the Pan Am jet, the crew was searching for their exit in the blinding fog. Unaware, the KLM plane was speeding toward them. In the KLM cockpit, only the flight engineer questioned if the runway was clear. Captain Van Zanten, certain, insisted it was. Suddenly, the Pan Am crew saw headlights barreling toward them. "There he is!" Captain Grubb shouted, yanking the plane left in a desperate attempt to escape. At the same instant, Van Zanten tried to lift off early, scraping the tail along the runway. For a moment it seemed he might clear the Pan Am jet, but the KLM's lower fuselage and landing gear slammed into the Pan Am's upper fuselage. Both planes erupted in fire and chaos. In seconds, the world's worst aviation disaster unfolded. Hundreds of lives were lost in a single, shattering moment. The fog that hid the danger now hid the devastation. The runway was a scene of unimaginable destruction. The cost of miscommunication and haste was now clear. The impact was catastrophic. The KLM jet exploded in a fireball, killing everyone on board instantly. The Pan Am jet was torn open, its center engulfed in flames. Miraculously, some passengers in the front survived the initial impact. They scrambled through wreckage, leaping from the fuselage to escape the inferno. Rescue efforts were hampered by thick fog and confusion. Emergency crews couldn't see the second wreck and drove past survivors. For agonizing minutes, help was out of reach. In the end, 583 people died. Only 61 survived. It remains the deadliest accident in aviation history. The disaster was a perfect storm of human error, miscommunication, and bad luck. The world watched in horror as the scale of the tragedy became clear. But from the ashes, lessons would be learned. Investigators from 3 countries searched for answers. The planes were mechanically sound. The disaster was human. The KLM captain took off without clear permission, but many factors contributed: ambiguous language, blocked transmissions, pressure, and fatigue. The accident became a turning point for aviation. Communication protocols were standardized, no more vague phrases. Crew resource management was born, empowering all crew to challenge unsafe decisions. Cockpit hierarchies flattened, safety became everyone's responsibility. Every precise radio call, every co-pilot who speaks up honors those lost at Tenerife. The tragedy led to a revolution in aviation safety. Air travel is now among the safest ways to journey. From disaster, a safer future for all was forged.